Hey guys, this is the public playtest of Fellowship. It is available on Steam during the Steam Next Festival. It is a 4-player co-op dungeon adventure, and we are going to play on the European servers for a bit. There are 6 different characters divided into 3 classes. Each dungeon group consists of the holy trinity of a tank, 2 damage dealers and a healer. In the demo you can choose between Helena. She is your classic warrior with a one-handed sword and a shield. Maiko, she plays like a monk and has some limited self-healing. The DPS classes are Rime. She's a frost mage with a builder-spender mechanic. Tariq, he's your berserker. If you want to hit things with a big hammer, then this is the guy you would choose. Then the healers are Sylvie. She's a druid. She has pets and plants to heal herself and her allies. And Vigor is a rune priest. We gonna play a little bit as Rime, the frost mage. When you start the game your first time, you can choose to play the tutorial. We're gonna skip this here. The tutorial shows you the basics of movement, camera perspective, and lets you fight as the tank Helena against your first enemies. Afterwards, you're gonna end up here in this hub world with random other players. If you want to change your character, you can move back to the hero select screen here. I'm gonna give you a little tour of this hub area. Really important is your stash. In your stash you can collect your loot and change your equipment. And you can also access all the things on the bottom right corner here. Let's get over the things you can do. The first one is the game finder. So you can choose to do a quick play, or you can find a specific game or host a game. If you don't really care what you want to play, then just go with quick play. If you want to specify the dungeon or your adventure, then go to find game or host your own game. Now I'm gonna show you a little bit of how it works. On the right side you have adventures. Adventures are shorter dungeons. There is just one boss and it takes about 10 minutes to finish the dungeon. The dungeons on the right are longer dungeons. They have usually 3 bosses and it takes about 20 to 30 minutes to finish a dungeon. Now we're gonna opt in or opt out what dungeons we want to play, and you can also choose the dungeon difficulty. Now have a look. When we increase the difficulty level, we get more modifiers. And as you can see here on the left, there are 5 modifiers. They're called ascensions, which gives you basically a harder time. So for example, healing effects are not as strong as usual, or the damage dealers create more aggro. And on the right side, the curses have benefits and also negative things. For example, here non-boss enemies deal 15% more damage and have 15% more health, but you also get 10% more spirit. Or meteor rain, your bonus is that each time a meteor strikes the ground, players generate 5 spirit, but you also have to move around the meteor. So yeah, and if you increase the difficulty level, your loot or your rewards get better and better. Right. And now, next up is the hero select. We already talked about that. Then next one is the leaderboard. There you can see how well you and your group did in each of the dungeons or adventures. Then number 4 is your stash. We've already seen that. Number 5 is the artificer. The artificer allows you to break down equipment that you don't want anymore or that you replaced. For example, I don't need that anymore and I can scrap those items. You get gold or materials for them. Also on the left you can see your gems and you can take gems out of your equipment and replace them. The last one in the top row is your mailbox. In case you missed some items, they will be sent to you. Then your hero sheet at the bottom shows you your equipment and your stats, your item level, and also when you've socketed gems, you get bonuses. For example, I've got a red gem in my ring, so I get 4% primary stat while I'm above 80% health. And I've socketed a green gem with a gem power of 240, so I get 2 bonuses in the green row. Right. Next up is your talent tree. By clearing more difficult dungeons, you get talent points. I picked talents that allow me to do more AoE damage for now, but you can reset them anytime. So for example, I click clear all and you can pick, I can choose 7 points and each of those talents cost, the top row costs 2, the middle row each one costs 1, and the third row each one of them costs 3. I'm gonna pick Chillbane, Coalescing Ice and Sulfurous Torrent, and then I click apply. Next is the map. It shows you where you and the other players are in this hub area. It also works in the dungeon or adventure afterwards. Then mounts. Once you clear a level 1 dungeon, you get your first mount. It's a horse. And if you manage to clear a level 5 dungeon, then you get this prowler. It's like the tiger in World of Warcraft, the Winterfell tiger. Yeah, and it's only available in the public playtest. And if you want to unlock this tiger, you need to clear a level 5 dungeon in this playtest. Right, then next one is your friend list. You can add friends or invite friends and can see the requests. Right, now I want to show you a dungeon, how it plays. We're gonna open the game finder and we gonna choose to find a random adventure with an item, with a dungeon difficulty of around 9. When you hover over the player portraits, you can see their item level, and we're ready to start. Right, we're inside this bubble, and as soon as the party leader starts the counter, our adventure will start. Rime works with a builder or generator and spender ability. You basically have a single target generator and a multi-target generator, and you use those combo points to cast your heavy hitting abilities. Like for example, my Glacial Blast takes away 2 combo points, but does way more damage. And I also got an AoE ability called Ice Comet, which hits a whole group after a short delay. You can open the map and can see the groups moving on the map, and you can see their contribution to the progress of the dungeon. You need to get a kill score of 100%, and then you can get your loot after killing the final boss. There is also a timer in this difficulty, so in order to progress to the next difficulty, you need to do or finish the dungeon within the time limit. Below those casters is a yellow bar, and you can interrupt those casts, but only if they are yellow. So I just interrupted the Shadow Bolt, and this caster is now forced to attack in melee for a while. On the left you can see a campsite, and if you activate this campsite, then you can respawn there. Otherwise you will respawn at the beginning of the dungeon each time you die. I think it's a nice mechanic. Because because resurrection is quite limited. Which means you need certain trinkets, or you need to find certain trinkets to be able to resurrect someone in battle. The game has a built-in damage meter, so on the left you can see damage and healing done, and you can set it to the current encounter, or you can set it to overall, which is quite nice. So you don't have to download a third-party app or program, it's already in the game. So we get 2 more groups before the final boss. You can already see him in the background casting some lightning storms. Right, tank is ready to go. He pulls, and we're gonna pop our ultimate, which allows us to cast multiple spender abilities. He has an ability to call more ads. We wanna kick that red arch, because it's quite a dangerous spell. And we want to stick together and pop some cooldowns. Once we get a lightning storm on us, the damage is split, and we need to get out of the big area damage. The boss is dead, but we're missing about 1%. So let's mount up and kill one more group. And that's it. Now, there is a guaranteed loot for everybody. In this case, we get some gold and we get a piece of gear, and this is a new head. Right, then once you're done, you can click leave the dungeon, or at the right bottom corner there is also a button, leave dungeon. Right, I hope you liked this video. Give it a like or comment in the section below. That's it for now. Bye.